What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome to the WNBA Finals Game 1 between the New York Liberty and obviously my Las Vegas Aces. Obviously, kind of a matchup that most of us, like myself, kind of expected that we're going to potentially see. Uh, yeah. Before we get into it, if you guys need to make sure you hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button. Oh, and with that being said, I think overall, I'm kind of, I would say I'm not very entirely too nervous about this series. Just because of the fact that, the Liberty, they got some solid 3-point shooters in Courtney Vandersloot who can hit them from time to time, but mostly from Sabrina Ionescu, and same with Brianna Stewart, your newly crowned 2023 WNBA MVP. And like I said, I have no issues with Stewie being the MVP this year because I think she has put up a much better season than what Aisha did. But yeah, it's because originally my original thought was going into this season because I was my expectation was I think the Liberty were going to make the playoffs, but I wouldn't because how the kind of the way they started didn't really look like they were going to be title contenders. Because I had a gut feeling that say, oh, we're going to get like a rematch of last year with us and the Connecticut Sun, and obviously the Connecticut Sun. Well, I wouldn't say they fizzled out, but they just didn't have enough firepower, so to speak, against the Liberty because, like I said, and I said this too, and I think some of y'all can agree that, Jonquel Jones leaving was a big blow, and you have Brianna Jones hurting her Achilles. There was a lot of things that kind of went figuratively wrong for the Connecticut Sun, but hey, here we are. We're at the WNBA Finals between the best team in the East taking on the best team in the West. Obviously, the top two teams in the WNBA today, and I would say probably in the years to come, because I do think that's, it's really, I would say, the Liberty are a talented squad, and the one thing that's kind of different, we actually did pretty well, and we haven't really played some good games. I mean, especially if you looked at the back of the regular season series between these two teams, and it was very ugly. Well, mostly from the minus the what do you call it? The first matchup of the regular season, we kind of just blew them out, and obviously, I mean, I think overall we kind of lost the next three games against the Liberty, and probably the most ugly way fashion, and oh boy, it was not fun as an Aces fan. But overall, so far in this playoffs, Brianna's almost 20 points a game, pretty much 19.8 points per game here in this year's playoffs. So it's got to be battle of the MVPs, basically. Asia Wilson, 2-time MVP, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Technically, now to think about it, let me rephrase that. It's battle of the 2-time MVPs, because obviously Stewie has her second. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams match up. Well, we'll get that going. Get the scoreboard up and running here today. But Jonquel Jones, she's been a very nice piece since going to New York. And plus, the fact that they didn't lose Han Ju, not because of injury. I think she was doing something with the FIBA competition. I think Stephanie Talbot. I could be wrong. But now we're going with the guard matches. Vandersloot and Plum with Annette. Jeez. Benija Laney and Chelsea Gray going at it. Same with Ionescu and Jackie Young. So that's kind of really what you got for in terms of the guard matchup play. But shout out to the total people that's coming in. Obviously the Aces right now hold the first two games. Pretty much have home court advantage because obviously they did have the best record at the WNBA, but we got less than 3 minutes till tip off. Hang on. That being said, it's gonna be hopefully it'll be a competitive series because some of the games that I've done, especially this entire year, especially from the Aces side of things in terms of blowouts, absolutely hated that. And not because I don't blame the Aces, but you got to look at the competition that they played. Opening week, you had the Seattle Storm, who took a 180 ass backwards, and became one of the worst teams of the WNBA this year. after making the postseason last year. But then again, I mean, you look at the team last year, you still had Stewie, you had Joel Lloyd, Sue Bird, um, really complimentary pieces. But ever since, when Brianna January retired, same with Sue Bird, and, Stewie leaving, it really put a damper on things for the Seattle Storm. And, well, let's be real, it's been nothing but an ugly season. Now, you're going to probably ask me, who's shown some improvements in terms of the worst teams? Probably it's the Indiana Fever. Now, yes, the Fever, they still got some work to make up, I would say, in terms of the roster construction. I do like Kelsey Mitchell and obviously Aaliyah Boston. I think that's a nice pairing. But they just need better complementary pieces around those two. And definitely try to run your offense more through Aaliyah Boston going into the next year, because boy, the Fever could have actually had an opportunity to be competitive in the playoff push had they continue using or running the offense through Aaliyah Boston. But here in Las Vegas, it's gonna be a lot of fun this afternoon. Well, we got some NFL football going on, and obviously. And we got the WNBA finals coming up in under a minute here on live on ABC, or you can catch it on ESPN, one of those two networks. But before we get to tip off, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors of the channel. Let's hear a word from our quick sponsors. Have you thought about saving money on tickets, whether it's sporting events, concerts, wrestling events, etc.? Use my promo code PhillySports at checkout to save $20 off your order. That is PhillySports, PhillySports, to save $20 off. If you're a Twitch streamer, late night gamer, or YouTuber, check out W Energy. It's the perfect pick-me-up for every occasion, so why not try it for yourself? Go to w.gg and use the promo code SportsWrestle10 at checkout to save 10% off your order. Golfers and sports enthusiasts, it's time to take your game to the next level with ShankIt Golf. Shop at shankitgolf.com and use promo code SportsWrestle15 to get 15% off your order and free shipping on orders over $100. If you're a top-tier high school or college athlete, a veteran in the men's league, coaches needing uniforms, or even an enthusiastic little leaguer needing bats, gloves, batting gloves, etc., we've got you covered. Right now, you can give your performance an extra boost by entering the promo code SportsWrestle10 at checkout so you can save 10% off your entire order. Are you looking to make a statement with your very own custom jersey? Go to fansidea.com and use the promo code SportsWrestle10 at checkout to save 10% off your entire order. So shout out to our sponsors of this play-by-play and just in this channel in general. Please go check them out. Pretty much all the promo codes are capitalized, so you guys don't want to miss out on the deals, especially for those who are golf enthusiasts or needs golf apparel. ShankIt Golf is the best place to go. Get some quality apparel and stuff like that. And plus, you don't want to miss out on free shipping over $100. But we're getting ready for tip-off. We're going to start lineups for the New York Liberty. You have Sabrina Ionescu, John Quill Jones, Brianna Stewart, Courtney Vandersloot, and Benijah Laney. And obviously, it's still the same with the Aces with Gray, Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson, Jackie Young, Kia Stokes here at the Michelob Ultra Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, see the Liberty going with their road whites, and Aces going with their home black unis. So a nice little sold-out, packed out crowd at the Michelob Ultra Arena. And we are underway, and Aces will take possession to kick off the WNBA Finals of 2023. We got Gray picked up by Laney. Coming out with a little help by Wilson. Nope. Nice little bounce pass to Plum. Now out to Wilson with the pump fake on Jones. Will drive a little bit short. Gets her own miss. Puts it back. That is good for two by Asia Wilson. Already up on the board for the Aces. You got Ionescu out to Laney. So that's out to Ionescu to Stewart. Stewart taking it, challenging Wilson. Fadeaway jumper. Gets the friendly roll, and that's going in. Ties it at too early. Got Plum. 9-10 to go. Hands it off out to Jackie Young. Pulls up from 3. Down it goes. Jackie Young hits a 3. Got Sloot out to Jones. Hands it off to Ionescu. Ionescu taking on Stokes. Kind of a mismatch. Out to Jones in the post. Out to Stewie. Stewie for 3. And then out it goes. Kelsey Plum pulls up with a rebound. Plum leading the charge. Out to Young. Picked up by Ionescu. Nice little pump fake into Wilson in the post. Kicks out to Gray. Gray taking out Laney. Fadeaway jumper from Gray. And a little bit too strong. Pulled down by Jonquil Jones. Already was Ionescu around a screen. Ionescu pulls up from deep. He checked. Down it goes for Sabrina Ionescu. And that was the one thing I've always was concerned about is not let Ionescu get anything going. Stokes out to Young. Double screen. Out to Plum. Plum for 3 on Vandersloot, and that is good for 3. All right, team already with a few heat checks here today. Then Stewie out to Jones, who thought about a 3. We'll just have to hold it out to Vandersloot. Vandersloot, and that's taken away by Asia Wilson. It's going to be on a 3-on-2 fast break. Oh, that's going to be easy. Euro step, good for 2 for Asia Wilson. Already put up this team by 5 here under 7.5 to play here in the first. Ionescu out to Vandersloot, screened by Stewie. Sloot for 3. Easy for Courtney Vandersloot. I mean, she like I said, that's the one thing that Sloot does very well is shoot the 3 ball, but she's more of most of her game comes from the assist side of things. You got Plum taking on Vandersloot. Out to Jackie Young, taking herself. And, nice save by Jackie Young to avoid a backcourt violation. And Plum out to Young. And that is going to be, had to get the shot up, but pulled down by John Quell. Laney for 3. And in and out it goes by Laney, but rebound pulled up by Jackie Young. We're about to reach the almost 6.5 minute mark. Gray for 3, and he checks. Down it goes for Chelsea Gray. Now puts it up back up 5 under 6.5 to play here in the first. We got Stewart. Hands it all to Ionescu with double team. Wide open from Stewie. A little bit short off the side iron. Pulled down by Asia Wilson. Here comes Gray. Leading the point. Picked up by Laney. That's out to Stokes. To Plum. Picked up by Sloot. Vandersloot. To Stokes. Stokes takes it herself. And it's going to stay with Las Vegas with under 6 minutes to play here in the first. And then side out to Plum. Plum drawing the double team. He checks. And we'll had to get the shot up with the shot clock running down, but no good from Plum. Out to Stewie in the paint, and she draws the contact. That's going to be the first on Las Vegas at 5:43. I'm going to try to take advantage of the mismatch. Now to Ionescu, to Laney. Back out to Vandersloot. Now to Jones in the post. Taking up, posting up on with try to go with the underhand. The finger roll goes. It's good from Jonquil Jones. So under 5.5. We got Jackie Young. Picked up by Vandersloot. Ionescu out to Stokes. Back out to Young for 3. Down it goes. Jackie Young for 3. Pulls it right back up to 6. for the Aces. Vandersloot. Good pull up for the mid-range, and Jackie Young falls into good defensive effort, but stays with the Liberty at 5:02. We'll reach about the 5-minute mark here in the first. So side out to Vandersloot. Vandersloot with to Jones, and Jones will draw the contact and go to. It'll be only two free throws coming for Jonquel Jones at 4:56 here. And we got LeBron's already in the building, but we do a quick TV timeout. Overall, basically what have I expected. In a sense, obviously the Aces are coming out firing, and same thing with the Liberty. Yeah, only put up 10 points, but that wasn't, that's not really going to say much. I'm not really going to, like I said, I'm not really going to nitpick on the Liberty. I mean, look, they're still doing things that are working for them. I mean, the one thing that's working mostly well is probably pretty much the finger roll from Jonquel, and at times an occasional three from her. But I think overall, it's basically what I've expected. When we first played them, when we played in that regular season series, even though which did lose 3-1. I think overall, I have no problems with it. I mean, it's a 6-point game, probably going to be 4 with Jonquel to the line. And that's the one thing that I've kind of nitpicked even last year as well. Try to play your best without fouling. And yeah, it's that's something has to be worked on a little bit. And also, biggest key for me, not turn the basketball over, because the last games that I've watched between these two teams, the Aces were a little bit reckless with the basketball. Like I said, those 3 games with was very ugly in the regular season. Now, yes, I know the regular season won't mean much, but I'm just pointing it out the last time these two faced each other. But I'm happy for the Liberty fans who, like I said, last time they made the WNBA Finals was back in 2001. Unfortunately, I think if I remember correctly, when I looked at the highlights from that, like I said, I really didn't get started till like last year. So this league kind of really flew under the radar for me as a general sports fan. But hey, it's gonna be fun. Obviously, it's gonna be a fun series. So a little bit of current storylines right now. You have the Liberty, I think, looking for their first championship, but I could be wrong. Someone let me know. But I think in the Aces right now are looking to go repeat, because the last team that did it was the 01-02 LA Sparks, which is going to be great. It's going to be crazy. The fact that we have not really seen a repeat champion in the WNBA and well over 2 decades, which is, let's be real, it's kind of crazy. And obviously with the Sparks kind of, being complete hot garbage. Sorry, Key. And we are back. So obviously with Jonquel to the line for 2. So 2 quick early fouls. And right now showing a screenshot from Breanna Stewart, who had her goal, like set down her goals at the age of 12, which is kind of crazy. Get a triple-double in all of her games. Well, I mean, she's done that a couple of times. Well, almost a couple of times. But she put up at least almost three to four 40-point burger type of games. But the first from Jonquel is good. It's back up to a 5-point lead for the Aces. So a 2-time champ and a finals MVP, both with Seattle, who, like I said, was hot garbage, but both free throws are good from Jonquel. And here we go. It's back to a 4-point lead with about a 4:50 to go here in the first. And we got Gray kind of leading traffic. Comes out with a little help from a screen by Asia Wilson. Nice kick out to Plum and gets blocked by Courtney Vandersloot. Vandersloot, not today. Kelsey Plum, that ain't happening. A good read, though, I would say, by Vandersloot to get that block at 4:41. We'll keep 10 seconds on the shot clock. And we get it inbounds to Plum. With 7 seconds of the play clock. With a tough shot, high arcing off the glass, cannot go, gets their own miss. And that's going to be a traveling violation on, it was like Kelsey Plum. I said that's not what you want to do. Not against a good, and John Cole's kind of slowly making her way. That's very unfortunate. We got Laney to Jones in the paint, taking on Stokes. Fadeaway jumper cannot go and pulled down by Kelsey Plum. Hands it off to Gray, picked up by Laney. Gray taking herself. And that's going to be wow, that's weird turnover, but that's going right back to New York off the foot. Try to go over a bounce pass. Somehow, unfortunately, got off the foot of. And now we got Alicia Clark now on the floor, the sixth woman of the year on the WNBA. Stewie on a mismatch. Stewie in the paint. Tough shot. Can't fall. Nice little rebound by Alicia Clark. And here comes Jackie Young leading the charge. For the defending champs. Steps inside. Fade away. A little bit too strong off the back rim. John Quell pulls down the rebound. Now Vandersloot. Oh, and into a Nescu. Oh, sorry, that's Johannes who puts it up for two. Who has come onto the floor for the Liberty. And that's the one thing, too. Kelsey Plum for three, a little bit short. And Stewie pulls down the rebound. Out to Johannes, who pulls up for three herself. Down it goes. And it's back to now it's a 1 point lead for the Liberty by Maria Johannes. And that was a 7-0 run by the New York Liberty. The last almost in about 2 minutes. And that's the one thing you don't want to do. Like I said, number one, you're getting so far are 2 turnovers. Like I said, you cannot really let the closeout has been, and that was the one thing that has been our Achilles heel with playing against Liberty. We could not close out on the 3 to figuratively speaking save our lives. And obviously, like in case in particular, when you had Onescu drop 31 on your heads. I mean, yeah, look, Onescu's a good 3-point shooter. I'll say that, but we're not close, and that's the thing too. Don't stop being lackadaisical on the closeout. But I've really never coached basketball, so I don't. Who knows? A little quick timeout by the Aces with 3:15 down 1 here in the first. Now, obviously, you got all the Liberty fans watching the Barclays Center here in Las Vegas, taking all the Aces. So a quick 30-second timeout. 17-16. That's the thing too. Like I say, will give respect to Liberty. I think they're probably going to be one of those teams that I still think could be a threat. Not just in the Eastern Conference, but could potentially be a team that, on paper, could be a number 1 seeded team. All righty, we got Jackie Young now directing traffic at the top of the key on a mismatch and pulls up from the mid range. Down it goes for Jackie Young. So easy mid range from Jackie Young with under 3 minutes to play here in the first. So we got Vandersloot with a screen by Jones. Pulls up from the free throw line. A little bit too strong. And offensive rebound fought by Asia Wilson away from John Quell. It's a little tough, pesky defense. Out to Gray. Gray now on Laney. Gray. And then another turnover. Looks like we got to get a jump ball at 2:31. A quick little jump ball. And obviously, Asia Wilson wins the jump ball on a height mismatch. And it looks like that's going to be the first foul. Looks like that's going to be on Johannes on a reach-in at 2:25, where they stop the clock here in the first. And obviously, October is obviously for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Now we get an inbound to Wilson, to Gray. Gray on a mismatch will take it herself, and that's just easy for Chelsea Gray. Puts it back up 3 here in the first, 20-17. We got Anescu leading the charge at the top of the key. And that's going to be against Alicia Clark. That's going to be the team's third. And that was a clear foul anyways, too. So you really can't... All right, we got that's Johannes to Anescu to Stewie. Brandon Stewart to the paint. One-handed shy gets the front, just slightly get the finger roll, and that's gonna be good to put it to cut the lead or deficit to 1. We got Gray taking on Laney. Laney with tough pesky defense out to Plum. Plum on Anescu. Plum with a floater. Down it goes. Kelsey Plum puts it back up 3 for Las Vegas. Against Anescu. Laney for 3. Cannot hit. And that was rebounded by Asia Wilson. So I'm sorry, I think it might have been Thornton who actually pulled up for the 3. Gray to Clark for 3. A little bit too strong off the back iron. And rebound pulled down by Brianna Stewart. We're about to reach the 1 minute mark here. Johannes for 3. Oh, that is just money. So Maureen Johannes ties it at 22 apiece. Yeah, Jackie Young for 3 cannot hit. Pulled down by Laney. Laney leading the charge. And will take it herself. And it'll be a 3-point play coming up for Benijah Laney. And that's going to be the 4th team foul on the Aces. So 46.2. And a 3-point play is good by Johannes. They got Gray coming out with the screen by Wilson. And that's going to be another turnover by the Aces. Like I said, that's the one thing that I've always will harp on is not turn the ball over. And the Liberty, when you watch them in the regular season, when you turn the ball over more times than not, Liberty will make you pay for it, especially when you play the Liberty. And obviously that's what we're seeing right now. Another 3 by Johannes cannot go and pull down by Chelsea Gray. Already a 3-point lead. So both teams shooting. Obviously, Aces are out rebounding 10-7, which that's. I mean, granted, it's early and a kick ball. With 2.8 remaining here in the first, and it's a 3-point lead. And Gray to Plum for 3. And that's going to end the first quarter off to a little bit of a sour note for the Aces. So now, so Liberty take quarter 1, 25-22. Already, like I said, the Aces already become a little bit sloppy early. Like I said, I'm not really worried. But when you turn over the ball, say 15, 16 times a game, then yeah, that's kind of concerning. But hey, exactly what I've expected. Especially with the well, let's be real. And Aubrey, we're going to take a quick TV timeout. And yeah, Liberty up 25-22 here going into the second quarter. Because quite honestly, getting honestly not really dicey, but if it was, let's say, like 30-15, somewhere around there, if you go with that score logic, it's yeah, that's something you don't want to have happen. But like I said, I'm not really going to hold. Like I said, I'm not really going to make excuses. Look, the Liberty are a good team. Don't get me wrong. Probably one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference because I think I think they're they're much better than Connecticut. But hey, maybe that's just me. Like I said, I'm not really going. Like I said, I'm not the type of person who will make excuses. I know the problems where I see it. Like I said, if you guys watched some of my Aces streams last year, like that's one thing I've harped on this team. It's turning the ball over, which should not happen, especially against good teams. Obviously, try to play without foul. Yeah, I mean, look, you're going to draw fouls, which is it's going to happen. The second reason is the fact that try to be as clean as possible. Look, if you're gonna look, like I said, going back to what my earlier point was with the fouls are going to happen, and yeah, there may be some ticky tack fouls that might call into question, but like I said, I'm not going to make those type of excuses. It is like I said, it is what it is. It's a 3-point deficit. The Aces will find a way to fight back. Now, like I said, let's say we're down 15 or somewhere around that nature. That's a different story. Like I said, win or losing this game, if I at least get a somewhat a good game that's not a blowout, I'm not going to be. You won't hear no complaints from me. But while I'm a commercial break, I'll be right back. So you guys don't want to miss out for a quarter two. Alrighty. So obviously we're going to quarter two, so still holding 3. We have Sandy Brondello in her second season as Liberty head coach. We got Ernesto out to Johannes, out. Looks like to Thornton. Looks like and a quick kickball violation on Las Vegas at 9:39. So we get a side out for New York. Side out to Jones. Jones taking on Stokes. Turnaround jumper from Jones. Oh, that is just easy money for Jonquel Jones. We got Gray down 5. Now to Jackie Young. Picked up by Inescu. Thought I'd pull a mid-range. Hands it off to Gray. Gray pulls up for three. Cannot hit. And John Quill comes up with the basketball for the Liberty. Hands it off to Ionescu. Ionescu with the mismatch with Kia Stokes at the top of the key. Now John Quill with the mismatch. So it looks like a 3-second violation on New York. Okay, so we get a 3-second violation on the Liberty. 200. All right, so it's on Las Vegas. And oh, that's almost had some choice words from head coach Becky Hammond. And Johannes to Ionescu. Ionescu picked up by Gray. Comes and gets stripped and comes up. Like Alicia Clark comes up with the basketball to Gray to Young. And Young will draw the contact and will go. Looks like going to the line for two. Stops the clock at 8:36. At least try to cut into this deficit. But the first by Young is no good. Like I said, I'm not going to miss the WNBA finals for the world. And one of two from the line for Chelsea or Jackie Young. Already got Vandersloot already leading the charge out to Jones. Or that's Laney. My apologies. And double team in the paint and tough. Oh my God! And what a tough shot. But that's good by John Quill. Jeez, talk about a circus shot. That ain't a shot nonetheless by John Quill Jones. Wilson from mid range, easy. Back up down to 5. I got Vandersloot. Now picked up by Gray. On the baseline, Thornton for 3. That is good. Now it's Kayla Thornton now increases the lead to 8. And Gray, or sorry, that's Jackie Young. So a defensive 3-second violation on New York. I mean, Chelsea Gray to the line for the free throw, and also I think the possession as well at 7:35 here in the second. And the free throw by Gray is good. It's back now. The lead deficit's down to 7. Well, for the Aces, and obviously, yeah, not having Candace Parker yet, and a lot of times, and me and Tyler said this too. Yeah, not having Candace Parker kind of hurts this team a little bit in terms of the rebounding, yes. And I mean, I kind of do kind of harp on Kia Stokes a little bit because, I mean, she's become a bit of a liability on the offensive end of the floor. We got Plum out to Clark. Clark on the under. Can't get that fall and pulled down by John Quill. And here comes the Liberty. And when Ionescu leading the charge. Now out to John Quill for 3. A little bit too strong off the background. I mean, and Alicia Clark comes up with the steal. And pump fake by Wilson, and she gets fouled. That's going to be the second team foul here in this quarter by the Liberty. Under 7 minutes to play. And that's going to be on John Quill. That's her first. Team second. But the first free throw is good by Wilson. to at least get a quote, at least get it close. And the second by Wilson hits them both. Now it's down to back to a 5-point lead for the Liberty. And that's going to be an easy reach in. And that's going to be the first team foul by Kelsey Plum. I mean, Kelsey Plum, yeah, like I said, that's the one thing I will continue to harp on, even going into the next year. Try and play smart basketball. Stokes, and she gets beat. Easy money for John Quill in the paint. Exactly, like I said, since without Parker, like, now we got out to Wilson. Wilson, look, they taking on Brianna Stewart. Tough shot off the glass, and that is good. Asia Wilson called bank, and the bank is open. And that's going to be the second team foul on Las Vegas. The question is, and that I got to, if I'm Brianna Stewart and just look, hands up, good defense. And yeah, look, it's a good shot nonetheless. And Brianna Stewart, I mean, if I'm Brianna Stewart, I'm tipping my cap to Asia Wilson on that. Let's start. The shot clock reset with 17 on the clock. We got Vandersloot. Pulls up from deep mid range, cannot hit, and out of the hands of Stewie. And here we go. We got Gray. Or sorry, that's Jackie Young. Oh, almost thought she almost got fouled. A pesky defense by Inescu. Fadeaway jumper, short. Pulled down by Stewart. Stewart leading the charge. It's about 6 minutes here to go. Inescu for three. That is short. Falls on the hands of Laney. Pulls up for three of her own. Cannot hit. And that's the one thing you don't want to do against Liberty. It's Sloot for three. Short. And that's going to be out of bounds, staying with New York at 5:43. And that's what John Quill does best. She'll fight for the rebounds. I mean, the Aces should know that. Should know that last year when during their finals matchup with the Connecticut Sun. It's like, it's kind of obvious. But hey, we're going to quick TV timeout. It is 35-30 when there's 6 minutes to play here in the first half, which is kind of crazy how quick this first half has kind of gone by quickly. And I'm like I said, now we're going to repeat myself. Like, this is kind of what I've expected, at least keep it close. But I think overall, the Aces, there was a little bit of things that I got, like I said, I will continue to harp on with this team. Number one is stop being reckless with the goddamn basketball. Stop forcing shots that are not there. Even though somehow some of these you're getting lucky with these. That's number two. Number three, this was probably a two-parter. Try to play somewhat clean basketball and not commit stupid fouls. Quite honestly. And that's going to really set you back, and it's going to be it's not going to end well for a lot of people. But hey, still solid game though, nonetheless, all the way around. I mean, look, both teams a little bit sloppy. I'm not really, like I said, there's no excuses whatsoever. Quite honestly, I still think the Liberty are going to give. Like I said, I'm not really going to show bias. Look, I think it's going to come down to who wants it more, and I do think this is going to go to all 5 games. Because knowing that, how pesky the New York Liberty are in terms of defensively, yeah, it's going to really put a lot of pressure. Not say but it does put on some sort of pressure for the Aces, because I feel like the Liberty is one of those teams that you just, no matter what the lead is, the Liberty will find a way to crawl back and be very pesky. Or the way I can compare it is like the Liberty are like cockroaches. Their hearts are ready to keep down, so to speak. And that's what I liked about in teams like that. And what's also funny about that is like, and if teams like that who don't have nothing to play for, and that's what I also like about teams playing as a spoiler at times. But hey, I like it though so far. So, but right now, just gotta keep your head on straight if you're the Ace, especially on your own home turf. Obviously the Aces were 16-1, something like that, at home on their home court, something like that. But we cannot, and I mean cannot, let this slip away. Well, at least try to keep it close if that's the case going into the half. Even though, yes, you have under 6 minutes to play, down 5 to the New York Liberty. Now to Jones. Jones pulls up for 3 early, cannot hit, and just Chelsea Gray pulls down the board. We got Gray. I say Gray out to Wilson. Hands off to Clark. Back out to Gray. Gray picked up by Laney. Gray on the baseline in the paint. And welcome to the block party, Chelsea Gray, courtesy of Jonquel Jones. Out to Sloot for 3. A little bit too strong. And that's Kia Stokes fights for the board. We got Gray. Almost had to get chased down by Jonquel. Out to Plum. Plum with the double team. We'll have to put the... So another defensive 3-second violation on the Liberty. That's the second overall by the Liberty. So far, we've seen 3 defensive 3-second violations called. And Plum cuts it out to 4 with an opportunity to at least get close. Right now we got Gray. Out to Plum. Plum on the baseline. Tough defense by Svindersloot, but that's not really going to be much. But now it's back to a 2-point lead for the Liberty. About 4:40 to go here in the third, or here in the second. Sorry about that. We got Stewart out to Jones. An offensive foul. We're going back the other way. Or looking at an illegal screen. It's been called. And so both teams combined for 6 turnovers. And all right, we got Chelsea Gray with an opportunity to at least tie it or go in front with over the Liberty to Wilson to Plum. Plum out to Clark. A little bit of a high pass, but Clark, and that's gonna be another foul on New York. That's gonna be on Jonquel. That's gonna be her second personal foul. And that's the one thing in order to, like say, figuratively beat Jonquel, you're going to have to force her to foul. It's the only way you're going to have to beat her so far, figuratively speaking. You got Jackie Young to Gray. Gray with a spin move. Out to Clark. Back out to Plum with an up and under. Tie game at 35. Kelsey Plum ties it. And we got a timeout by New York at 4:01, just barely at the 4-minute mark here in the second quarter. We're knotted up at 35. It's exactly what I've been saying. Like, that's the one thing. And Las Vegas can be very pesky as well. And obviously, they had their own 7-0 lead or 7-0 run almost the last, almost 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 47 seconds. So either way, like I said, that's the one thing too, like what you expect between these two, the top 2 teams in the WNBA. And quite honestly, I love it. It's not where like in the regular season where let's bro the last couple of matchups. Yeah, I kind of turned the game off. Funny enough about that, when I watched the rest of this regular season series between these 2 teams, yeah. I pretty much turned most of the matchups by off the second quarter if it's that ugly. Which, yeah, well, like I said, I've done some games where it just got out of hand. and I unfortunately had, we have a thing called a mercy rule, where you're up by. Well, I think a lot of people know what a mercy rule, especially in baseball. But in terms of, like, the streaming wise, I mean, my boy Coach Dante knows better than anybody, because we've seen let's be honest, should have done a mercy rule in opening week. But hey, look, it stuck out for the 4 quarters. Hey, but it's been fun this year though with the WNBA, but especially with the NBA and the NHL coming up, it's gonna be a lot of fun. You're gonna probably see a lot of Flyers content as well, mostly on here. But in terms of NBA, like I said, meantime, we'll do any team you pretty much you could think of, whether it's, well, except for the Celtics when Tyler's in, because because the area's blacked out for him, so that's the only team we can probably do. So right now, the only ones we have on scheduled to do is probably Lakers and Nuggets game 1 of the 2023-24 NBA season. Oh yeah, it's been hell of a year for the WNBA, especially this year, the last year and a half, almost right now, year and a half expectedly. But hey, I enjoy it. It's been fun, to say the least. But shout out to the 33 that's here in the chat. It's kind of crazy that we're almost at not even at the 1 hour mark, and we're almost about 4 minutes till halftime. But it's been great. It's been a good game. Yeah, and yeah. Now, yes, it's been a little bit sloppy in some areas. The fouls. New York at times, when they play pesky defense, a lot of times you have to be careful 9 times out of 10, because there we got called from 3 defensive second violation. Jesus Christ. Aces set the most wins in WNBA history at 34-6. Undefeated in the playoffs, which that's no surprise. I even said, the floor I saw with this Aces team is definitely 34-6. But the teams that went back to back was the Houston Comets. Well, I think a lot of over fans know about them, and same with the Sparks back in 2001 and 2002. All right, we get a side out to Jones for under 4 minutes to play. Here we go. We got a Vandersloot, that is. Out to Johannes. Johannes around the screen by Jones. Johannes, fadeaway 3. Down it goes. Sorry, back up 3 for the Liberty. Right out of the timeout. Marine Johannes, are 11 points, 4 or 5 from the floor, 3 or 4 from 3. Out to Young. That's going to be another Aces turnover. That's their 4th. Again, that's the one thing that's Las Vegas needs to stop with these damn turnovers. It's going to come back to bite them in the ass. Well, we got Stewart to Laney. Laney on the wing. Out to Johannes. And Johannes walks with it, and we're going to get back the other way. That's going to be another turnover by the Liberty at 3:20. Stops the clock at 3:24. We got Plum picked up by Johannes. Out to Wilson. Hands up to Gray. Gray with pesky defense. Hands it out to Jackie Young. And Jackie Young will get fouled. That's going to be the 14th foul, that is, on the Liberty. And that's going to be a side out at 3:09 here in the second. With the Aces down 3. One more foul from Liberty will put the Ace in the bonus. Now, side out to Gray to Wilson. Out to Young in the paint. Jackie Young with a 5. And okay, so Alicia Clark said, screw the 3 ball. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. And we'll go to the line for 2 and try to on her way to driving to the basket. The first by Clark is good. Back down to 2. But obviously, Wednesday, we'll be back at it again for game 2. So under 3 minutes. And both free throws are good. 1-point game under 3 minutes. Here we go. We got Anescu leading the charge for hands up to Johannes. Johannes with a one-legged three. That is good. So Marie Johannes already cooking from 3. We got it's like Gray with a fadeaway, a little bit short. She might have gotten fouled on the play, but no whistle. And Kelsey Plum comes up with another turnover for the Aces. And up and under, that is good for 2. It's back up to a 2-point lead. Anescu to Johannes to Stewart. And that is going to be a foul against Las Vegas. That is going to be the 13th foul. And Stewart. And that's going to be a blocking foul. That's going to be the 14th foul. And that's going to be 2 free throws coming for Breanna Stewart. That's going to be on Alicia Clark. And the first free throw is good. Back up to 3. We're going to get a quick substitution. Looks like it's just here in the first half. With 2:03, it's a 3-point game. And of course, ABC decides to freaking buffer on me at the worst possible time. Ay, ay, ay. There you go. And the second from Stewart. And she is 1 of 2 from the free throw line with the offensive board. Stewart for 3. Cannot hit. And rebound to Asia Wilson. Now here comes Jackie Young leading the charge. Down 3. Young to Stokes. Back out to Jackie Young. That's going to be a quick turnover by the Aces and really poor decision making by Jackie Young. Again, another quick. That's the 5th turnover for both teams. And obviously, Aces, do very well in that category. It has 10 points off turnovers by the Liberty. So we got Laney to Nescu to Jones. And that is good. It's back up to 4. Or say it's back up to 5, I should say. Oh, I can't count. Young to Gray. Back out to Young. Young for 3. Down it goes. Jackie Young brings it back up to 2 with 1:10 to go here in the second. Stewart for 3. Oh, geez. That is not what you want to do against someone like Breanna Stewart. So back up to 5. And that's going to be off the hands of Jones, and that stays with Las Vegas. It's like Young on the baseline. Tough shot. Can't go. But however, she does draw the foul, and that's going to put her to the line for 2. And that's going to be, it looks like it might have been on John Quell again. Or that'd be on Anescu. My apologies. They say they're going to get. So 2 free throws coming, and the first is good Let's back it down up to 4 for the Liberty. Ah. And both free throws are good. Back up 3. And they got Nescu. Nescu, and that's get poked away by Jackie Young. Stops the clock at 37.6. And obviously, so right now, Aces right now currently in the penalty, right now in the bonus. I think overall, honestly, he's been what I've expected to see. Very competitive. Quite honestly, and the one thing I will say that I kind of do not like so far from this Aces squad is the fact that you're letting Marie Johannes cook you from 3. And you're not closing out on the 3 ball, which has always been their biggest Achilles heel because they play more of a small ball type of lineup. Since I've been covering them, Chelsea Gray already 8 points here in this first half, and then be a quick little timeout from the Liberty. Right now, currently holding 3. Another with 37.6 to go here in the second just in the first half alone. But if it just stays the way that it is, I have no issues with that. At least it's a manageable 3. Now, like I said, manageable. I'm not using that term loosely because knowing how pesky the Liberty's defense can be. But I mean, look, we got 37.6, and Range Johannes. I mean, like I said, I'll give her some credit though. Unless we'll make some shots that I think some players nowadays could not even do that. All right, inbound by Anescu. Mounts it in traffic to Johannes to Stewart, and puts it back up for 2. And well, I'm sorry, but that was his poor interior defense. And Kelsey Plum cuts it back to 3. Already 49-46 just here the second. So Laney looks like down at 15, but almost about like a second between the game and shot clock. Laney drives, and that's a quick little turnover going the other way. And Plum pulls up for 3, gets blocked from behind, and that's going to take us to the half. And that's going to put us in the half. And obviously, we're going to go into the half. You know how it is over here. We are going to take a quick commercial break, little halftime break, and we'll be back after these messages. Yeah, sir. We are back to kick out the second half. Obviously, still a 3-point lead for the Liberty. Right now, I'm hoping the Aces actually will come out and actually come out swinging. Because let's be real, you don't want to really lose on your home court. And well, yeah, and truth to be told, like this team's always been our Achilles heel. Well, from Marine Johannes, first 5 games only put up 5 points, 2 or 3 from the floor, 1 of 10 from 3. But today, it's a whole little bit different. It's different. Coming off like a pick and roll. I mean, when you execute a pick and roll like that, yeah, well, Johannes will find a way to cook you from 3 easy. um, yeah, literally on a one leg. That's just flat out embarrassing if you're the defender. Mm. All right, we have Adneski to kick off the third quarter, up 3, hands it up to Stewart, to Laney. Laney back up to Stewart. Stewart on a mismatch. Out to Vandersloot, and that's going to be a kickball going against Las Vegas. Stops the clock at 9:46. And Stewart, wide open floater. That is good for 2, and it's back up 5 for the New York Liberty. Now we got Plum leading the point. Out to Wilson. Hands up. Back up to Plum. And just has her way. Down it goes. Back up 3. Down 3 for the Aces. Under 9:20 to Jones. A Nescu for 3. That is completely short. Wilson comes up with the rebound. Here comes Chelsea Gray. Gray looking on a mismatch to Jones. We'll have to pull it out to Wilson, who's with her fadeaway jumper. Down it goes. As back down 1. We got Vandersloot. Vandersloot try to get some help. Gets it out to Anescu, who has been very quiet today. Same with John Quell. Stewart from deep mid-range, short off the front iron. Rebound pulled down by Asia Wilson. Here comes Jackie Young leading the charge. Taking on Anescu. And we'll go to the line for 2. Unfortunately, I think it would have been also to get the 3-point play, but we'll take 2 with under 8.5 to play. And the first by Young is good. Got a tie game. And 1 and 2, we got a tie game at 51. They got Stewart leading the point, picked up by Wilson. We got an MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year going at it 1-on-1. Mismatch on Plum. Tough shot. Get the friendly bounce. Nope. Pulled down into the hands of Plum. Here comes Chelsea Gray leading the point. Tied at 51. Taking off Vandersloot. And another turnover by the Aces. Worst decision. And that's going to be Plum's going to commit. Already tied at 51. We got Stewart to Laney. Laney out to Vandersloot, who thought about a 3. Out to Stewart. Gets the wide open lane. And that's be good for 2. So we got a delay game warning against New York. So now it's back to a 2-point lead for the Liberty. We got Plum picked up by Vandersloot. Chelsea Gray takes a bit of a Jackie Young for three. Down it goes. Jackie Young feeling it today. Up one, about 7:20 to go here in the third. We got Jones. I think that's Stewart. To Vandersloot for three. That is short. And then Wilson fights for the rebound. We got Jackie Young. Kind of feeling herself today. One of the leading scorers for Las Vegas. Under 7 minutes to play. Screened by Stokes. Young for three. Oh, a little bit in and out. Cannot hit, but good look though nonetheless. And Kia Stokes gets a hand in there with a defensive stance on Jonquel Jones. We have 6:46. Aces hold one. Inbound to Jones. To Vandersloot. To Stewart. Stewart. Tough shot, and that is good for two. And it's back up one for the Liberty. We got Jackie Young. Out to Gray. Gray, deep three. Down it goes. Chelsea Gray retakes the lead for the Las Vegas Aces. Nescu. And that's going to be the second team foul here on the Aces in this quarter alone. That's true. You don't leave Chelsea Gray open for a reason. Yeah, probably had the best playoff run she's had, especially last year. And then Vandersloot with the inbound to Laney. We got Stewart to Nescu to Laney. Laney on picked up by Wilson. Cross court out to Vandersloot to Jones, and that is the off the leg, and so to stay with New York. That's 6:01, and obviously that keeps 3 seconds on the shot clock. They got to get a quick in. And that Stewart gets stripped, and here comes Chelsea Gray under 6 minutes. Gray thought about a three, will have to put the brakes on. Almost forced a shot that could have been not there. Out to Young. Young on Laney. To Wilson. Wilson taking on. And Wilson will draw the contact. And she's going to the line for two. And that's going to the third on Jonquel Jones. Let's. Yeah, just somehow clipped the right arm. It was close, though. But the first from Asia Wilson is a little bit too strong. And 1 and 2 from the lines, a 3-point lead. We got Vandersloot to the basket. Cannot go. Rebound to Stokes. And here come the Aces kind of come out firing. Here comes Kelsey Plum out to Young, who thought about a three, steps inside, takes the old-fashioned way. Down it goes. Jackie Young puts it up 5 under 5:20 to go here in the third. And Las Vegas is loving it, and we get a timeout by New York. And the Las Vegas crowd is loving it. 60-55 in favor of Las Vegas here today. And Candace Parker, she's loving it as well. An opportunity to have her third championship with an opportunity to be a 3-time WNBA champ. Obviously won with the Sky back in 2021. And also won and has won with the Sparks as well. And obviously, like I said, it's been a very good game, minus the mistakes on both sides. I've been enjoying this. It's been one of the best in terms of the matchups today. This is probably the best game that these two have played without being a freaking blowout. Because let's be honest, for those who don't remember the regular season series between these two teams, it's been nothing but blowouts on each side, and it's been ugly, to say the least. But regardless, though, it's been fun. It's been a very solid game. Like I said, and I'm not going to really harp on this too much. Yes, New York, there are times where they kind of overdo too much, so to speak. Aces, I mean, you probably heard me harp on this team for the last year and a half. Like I said, got to take care more of the basketball, look for good shots. And at times too, if you find good looks, go with a hot hand if that's the case. And right now, currently your hot hand is Jackie Young, which she's probably right now playing some of her best. Obviously, like I said, probably one of my dark horse MVP candidates. Now, yeah, she's kind of one of those players that does fly under the radar for different reasons, and that's in a good way. Because you have like the most attention on women like Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Alyssa Thomas, sometimes DeWanna Bonner from Connecticut Sun, maybe Kelsey Mitchell at times, Leah Boston. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. But hey, been a good game though. Up to a 5-point lead with about 5:17 to go here in the third. And obviously the Aces, like I like I said before, at times where they have a slow, not saying like this is not one of the worst slow starts I've seen the Aces have, especially during the first half. I've seen worse in terms of slow starts, but the fact it was close as it was between like a 3 to 5 point difference. Now, yeah, the largest lead I know was 8. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the Aces do. Yeah, I mean, not to say they do all the time, but there are occasional times where they have slow starts where they'll kind of just fall behind the 8 ball a little bit. I mean, yeah, and just find a way to fight back and, get very scrappy. And it's the same thing with New York. We've seen at times where I think teams could have played spoiler to the New York Liberty throughout the regular season. Probably, well, not like teams not like the Fever, but that's because I'm not really going to say the Fever, but the Fever, if they had the more right pieces, I do think they could at least make some noise in the Eastern Conference, but not to the point where they're kind of like on the fringe of knocking on the door to make them to be a playoff team. And that's no for me. I'm not saying it's just the hate the and the Fever, but just they need more than just Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston. And at times, they don't really run because every time they win games when they run the offense through Aaliyah Boston. And already got a Nescu already leading the point to Laney. Laney taking on Chelsea Gray in the paint. Tough shot. Hey, gets it to fall. Now it's up 3 for Las Vegas. We're about to here with the 5-minute mark. Plum to Young, back to Plum to Clark. Clark to Wilson in the paint. Taking on John Quill. Short mid-range, short on the front side. Picked, and here comes a Nescu to Laney to Stewart. Stewart from mid-range. Cannot get that to fall, and rebound fought by John Quill and puts it back. Now it's back at 1. And that's the one thing you don't want to do against John Quill is not let her beat you. And of course, on that drive possession, I would say she beat them. And John Quill comes up with an assist to Onescu with the turnover. And that's taken away back by Jackie Young. Here we go. Jackie Young. And lost it again. So back-to-back turnovers for the Aces and the Liberty. Laney to John Quill gets blocked. And that's going back the other way. And John Quells got welcome to the block party. Courtesy of Asia Wilson, the two-time Defensive Player of the Year for a good reason. And just good concentration not to foul. And we got Gray to Wilson, or say out to Clark. Clark pulls up for three of her own, a little bit short. And that's pulled down by Johannes. Here comes Laney to Stewart, and that's off her fingertips. Another turnover by the Liberty. Liberty kind of get a little sluggish. So Jonquel Jones has 7th double-double of this postseason, which is most in WNBA history. We got Wilson, a little bit short. So good defense by Jonquel to kind of force that short shot by Wilson. And that's going to, and Jackie Young kind of knocks it out of bounds, still stays with New York with about 3:21 here in the third. Yeah, it looks like Kate Cunningham in the building. And of course, Mikal Bridges. No surprise, but in case you got Ben Simmons there too. What the fuck? Stewart. Pesky defense on a mismatch out to Anescu for three. Just heaves it. No good. And Jackie Young comes up with the basketball. Or Chelsea Gray. Jeez. It's Young for three again. Hits it. Could have been a 4-point play, but hey. Got Laney to Johannes. Double team on Johannes. Here comes Stewie out to Jones. Back out to Laney. Laney drives, pulls up, stops, pops, and that hits. And it's back up to 2 for the Las Vegas Aces here in the second to kick here under 2.5 to play in the third. 7 points for Laney. Out to Wilson from mid-range. Easy money. And Asia Wilson hits it for 2. Back up to a 4-point lead. Anescu to Johannes. Johannes, he check again. Kent fell short. And Plum with the rebound. Plum just doing out. Nice, good ball movement out to Jackie Young, who thought about a three. Will have to kick it right back out to Clark, or say Plum at the corner. Plum in a mismatch. A little bit short. Pulled up and rebound to Anescu. Under about a minute 50 to go here. Got Anescu picked up by Gray. Going around the pick. And Gray comes up with the bat and just off her fingertips stays with New York. Getting a little bit, it's been. It could have been a 4-point play, but I'm not going to really complain about it, at least. So we got Kayla Thornton now in for Benija Laney. So Pesky to Anescu. And that is going to be a foul going against Las Vegas. And that's going to be on Alicia Clark at a minute 35 here in the third. 65-61 here in the third. It's been nothing but a back and forth. Largest lead was 8 by the Liberty. Now it hands it up to Vandersloot. Now to Anescu, or say that's Johannes, who's been to Stewart. Tough defense, can't go. It's a good defensive stance by the Aces. And it looks like that's going to be knocked out of bounds. Stays with Las Vegas with a minute 20 here in the third, up 4 over the Liberty. So right now, Liberty are currently in the bonus. Honestly, game two will be Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, live on ESPN. You know how it is. I'll be back at it again for game 2. Probably, if this is going to go all 5 games, I'll probably do all of this entire 5-game series. It's been nothing but fun this year. So, minute 20 with the 20 seconds on the shot clock. Now, currently, both Ace and Liberty currently have 3 timeouts remaining overall in this game. Obviously, with New York taking their overall this quarter, Aces are 7 for 12 from the floor, and Liberty is 6 for 17. So shout out to the 49 total people that's in here. Got a minute 20 for 20 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound to Clark, to Young. Now out to Wilson, picked up by Stewart. And Wilson will draw the foul, and that's going to be on Brianna Stewart. That's the third team foul. With a minute 12 and with 14 seconds on the shot clock. So we got a side out. That's the first on Stewart. Out to Clark. To Wilson in the post. Pulls up. Down it goes. Asia Wilson puts it back up 7. Under a minute to play here in the fourth. Here comes Vandersloot. Welcome to the block party yourself. By courtesy of Asia Wilson. Young for 3. A little bit short. Offensive rebound pulled by Johannes. Here comes Stewart. Down 6, but about 40. Reached about the 42nd mark. And no, it'll be 2. That's going to be the 14 foul on Las Vegas, but 2 free throws nonetheless for Brianna Stewart. Obviously, Asia Wilson and Stewart kind of the. Good looking. That's 2 blocks already, 4. And the first is good. 67-62. Shout out to the 57 that's tuning into the stream, and shout out to the 40-something odd people, the official Facebook page of this channel. And 2-2 from the free throw line goes Brianna Stewart. 35 seconds. We got Gray picked up by Stewart. And then Kayla Thorne will draw her team's fourth team foul. And the first free throw is good. And the second free throw by Wilson is good. 69-63. We're at 30 seconds. And we've got a Nescu. Down at about to be at the 22nd mark. Picked up by Young. Nescu pulls up. And that is good for 2. And they got Young who drives. And it's going to the line for the 3-point play. And leaves at 5.4 on the clock. And the 3-point play is good by Jackie Young. We got that's Vandersloot and almost loose of the basketball. And that's going to be no good. And we're down to the final 10 here in game 1 of the WNBA Finals. Aces, with a solid third quarter, has a 7. Takes the third quarter currently with 72-65. Now down to the final 10 here in game 1 of the finals. Already put up 24, which is our 24 points, 5 of 8 from 3. That 24 points is a career high in the playoffs for Jackie Young. So a solid third quarter to finally actually get themselves. All right, we are on a quick commercial break here in game one. All right. Shout out the 47 people that's in here, man. Man, you gotta love it though. Love a 7-point lead. Obviously, job's not finished. We got the final 10. Like I said, I think this is gonna be the entire 5-game series that we have. This is so far how this game one's been played out. Righty. And then, of course, the $100,000 pyramid commercial. Like, eh. All right, final 10. Jackie Young having herself a day. All right. Yeah, obviously, right now, kind of showing that one open lane where already. And here we go. Aces will take the ball and kick off quarter number 4. And we got Jackie Young to Gray. Back to Jackie Young, and that's gonna be the foul against the Liberty. We get a side out for Las Vegas. We got Plum. Plum with a floater. Yeah, gets the friendly roll. That is good for 2. 74-65. We got Nescu out to Stewart. Stewart on Clark. Out to Jones. Jones, where we have 3 personal fouls. Out to Laney. Laney for 3. Cannot hit. And rebound takes in the hands of Jackie Young. Kind of working herself on the boards today. Jackie Young to Clark. Hands off to Plum. Plum on the baseline drives. Out to Gray. Wide open three. Little bit too strong. An offensive rebound by Kia Stokes. And Gray, that is good for two. Not an easy shot to put up, but it's almost now lead up to 11 by the Aces. We got Johannes. And that's going to be a foul again going against Kia Stokes. We are reaching 8:46 here in the fourth. Okay, Chelsea Gray just showing off now. And that shot can't fall, and that rebound's ripped away by Chelsea Gray. Here comes Kelsey Plum, taking it herself. We'll have to pull her right back out, taking on a mismatch with Brianna Stewart. Plum out to Clark to Gray. Gray, fadeaway jumper, a little bit too strong. Rebound to Inescu, who most of this has been very quiet. And that is another steal by Jackie Young, having herself a game one of this finals. Picked up by Jones. And it looks like Chelsea or Jackie Young. Oh, that's just no defense in sight. That is good for two by Chelsea Gray on that assist. And that's going to force a timeout by the Liberty. 7:56 here in the fourth. It's been all aces so far in this quarter alone. What's going on, Janelle? Excuse me. Shout out to the 64 total people that's in here, man. I mean, shout out to the 10 people coming from the YouTube side of things, which is fantastic, which is awesome. So, all right, we got under 8 minutes to play, and the Aces currently hold 13. So, checking out into the playoffs, averaging 15.2 points with 35% shooting. And here we go. We got Inescu leading the point, who has been very quiet. And we have Stewart. And that's going to be on Jackie Young. That's going to be the team's second foul here in the fourth. 7:46 to go here. Down 13 for the Liberty. Inside out to Inescu. Out to Vandersloot. Vandersloot out to Jonquil Jones. Or say that's Laney, good for two. So 78-67 with about 7.5 to go. Out to Stokes. To Clark, almost somehow just keep that in bounds. Posting up with a baby hook. Down it goes. Alicia Clark puts it back up 13 for the Aces. We got Inescu picked up by Clark to Stewart. To Vandersloot. That's got knocked out of bounds. Stays with New York at 7:07 here in the fourth. And inbound out to Vandersloot. Vandersloot for two. Down it goes. 80-69, under 7 minutes to play. Under 6:50. Here we go. Plum. And we'll draw the contact. We'll go to the line for two. That's team foul number 2 on the Liberty. 6:47. Where they stop the clock. And the first by Plum, and it's good. 81-69. So and both free throws are good. 82-69. Here we go with a Nescu. We got Laney out to Jones for three. Cannot go, and rebound to Chelsea Gray. And here comes Plum under 6.5 to play. Plum will have to hands out to Young. Young thought about it. Will hands it off to Gray. Gray picked up by Vandersloot. Fadeaway jumper. Down it goes. Chelsea Gray, 84-69. Here. Oh, and Plum steals it, and there's going to be another foul, and that's going to be two more free throws coming for the Aces. Kind of looks like the Aces are kind of trying to put this one on ice here in Game 1 of the WNBA Finals. And the first by Plum is good, 85-69. And both free throws are good, 86-69. Here we go. We got a Nescu leading the charge out to Vandersloot. Vandersloot picked up by Plum. It's under 6 minutes. Vandersloot to Stewart. Stewart almost trying to fadeaway jumper of her own. Cannot get that to fall. Falls on the hands. So we get over the back on John Quell. We're sticking. And we get a quick timeout, like a TV timeout. Shout out to 65 that's in here. 65 total viewers here today for Game 1 of the Finals. And while we're getting close towards the end, overall, like I said, good fight. By the Liberty. Like I said, I got to give the Liberty a lot of credit, doing their best to kind of keep this Aces team down, and which they did for most of the first half, which I will say. Not say I wasn't really frustrated. It's like, it's kind of what I expected for a competitive game like this, even though now it's starting to get almost out of hand. But yeah, I mean, overall, I've liked what I've seen from the Liberty. Yeah, that's another thing to what I've talked about. And I've talked to, discussed this a couple of times. And shout out my boy Coach Ed as well. Coach Ed, I think when I had him on the first time on the channel when the Aces and the Liberty played each other, yeah, there was a lot of things that they were missing. I mean, definitely Hanju, you could definitely tell her presence is definitely missed off the bench. I think also with Stephanie Talbot, I think she is, or I think it might have been Talbot. I could be wrong, but regardless, though, like yeah, they're missing some pieces off the bench, and yeah. So far, this quarter is starting to really get a little bit out of hand. I mean, another three will put this be a 20-point lead with under 6 to play, and yeah, and that's the thing too with the Aces. They're the kind of team that will kind of be punch you in the mouth, old school way of doing things. I mean, yeah, they'll hit threes here and there, but they don't really rely on the three ball as the next team. But it's a good win nonetheless by the Aces. But then again, I'm not gonna say. I mean, look, job's not finished for both teams. Well, and yeah, like I said, we'll be back at it for Game 2. Hopefully, do all pretty much. I'm pretty sure we'll probably do all 5 games if it does go to 5 games, which I think it probably will, because I don't think the Liberty are too talented to get swept. Ugh. But shout out to 47. Shout out the 5 total the five reaction on Facebook. Like I say, I greatly appreciate that as well. Yeah, for those who want to check us out too, for those who are on Facebook, like I said, we greatly appreciate that too. We're also trying to grow over there as well at the same time. Check out the link tree down below, and yeah, and obviously the Aces, like I said, minus that slow start, it's been solid basketball all around for both teams, but yeah, but minus the fouls and stuff like that, which is kind of the sloppy part on both sides. Um, yeah, so like I said, I'm not really going to really make I'm not going to not make excuses for both teams. Um, like I said, the Liberty, like I said, they're missing a couple of pieces. Like I said, I think it might have been Stephanie Talbot and definitely Hanju in terms of the length. And let's be real, and Aces, they pretty much kill everybody with the small ball lineup. And we're seeing that with Jackie has 26, Kelsey Plum with 22, and Chelsea Gray with 15. And that's the thing, too. But we are back with Clark. About hands it out to Plum, picked up by Vandersloot to Wilson. Wilson from mid range. The friendly bounce cannot go. Rebound into the hands of Stewart. Here comes Vandersloot on her way. We'll have to put the brakes on. I think Vandersloot might have gotten away with the carry, but I'm not really going to say much. And another turnover by the Liberty. And here come the Aces trying to put this game on ice. Kelsey Plum. And that is good. And almost a 20-point lead for the Aces. And it's getting very ugly if you're a Liberty fan. Oh, a nice little look to John Quell, and that's going to be good for 2. 88-71. Aces still hold their lead with game 2 on Wednesday night. Oh, a nice look to Clark inside. That is good for 2. And that's Chelsea Gray. And that's going to be the third team foul on Las Vegas. And that's going to be on Kelsey Plum, her personal team's third here in the fourth. And that is true. I'd say to all the Liberty fans, I appreciate getting, I know the fourth quarter is kind of getting out of hand, but overall, y'all been a bit short by Stewart and rebound to Kelsey Plum out to Gray. Almost like a four-court press by the Liberty. Now at least switching now to a half-court press right now by the Liberty. And Plum with an up and under over John Quell, and that's going to force a timeout by the Liberty, 92-71. And yeah, so to speak, it's this is pretty much the Aces game 1 victory, so to speak. With Aces still holding three timeouts at the moment. I think overall, yeah, because right now, like I said, Liberty, they did their thing for 2.5 quarters. When the third quarter came around, Aces woke up, did what they needed to. Let's get back to what they normally do best and play some good basketball. And now, in this fourth quarter, it's not been friendly, so to speak, for the Liberty, who, they got some points here in the fourth, but not much to the chagrin to the Liberty fans. It's been nothing but this fourth quarter has been very ugly, to say the least, if you're seeing this as a Liberty fan. And then you have Tom Brady, who now is a part of my minority owner of the Aces. And here we go. You got Anescu to Stewart. Stewart out to Laney. Laney around and picked up on a mismatch. Under 4 minutes to Jones to Stewart. Gets blocked up top, and there is a foul. And that's going to go against Las Vegas. And it looks like Chelsea Gray might have taken a shot to the face. If that's the case. Yeah, that's a good call in nonetheless. Yeah, that's a foul. But the first free throw is good. It's and 1 of 2 from the free throw line goes for Stewart. And we got Gray out to Plum. Plum drives underneath. Cannot get that to fall. Offensive rebound to Clark. Clark on the baseline. Tough shot. Down it goes for Alicia Clark off the bench for Las Vegas. I mean, at this point, it's a Ness, or say that's Vandersloot good for 3. Yeah, that's pretty. This now to Plum, and Plum turns it over and into the hands of Laney. We're gonna have a 2-on-2 fast break. Anescu for 3. That's short. That's a board put back. Good for 2. And yeah, yeah, Becky's a little bit heated. Oh, you don't want to get get teed up. Yeah, that's an up and down. Mm, very ugly for the well, kind of like I said, I'm not really gonna make excuses, but yeah, there was some calls that mm, mm. Uh, well, yeah, well, it's like I said, I'm not really gonna. God damn, sorry, my throat's starting to voice is starting to go a little bit. But out of the way, but shout out to everyone that's been in the chat though, or tuning in as well. And also shout out to some of the shares on Facebook as well for those who are watching through the Facebook side of things. But yeah, like I said, there was a lot of some calls on both sides. Well, mostly on both sides were kind of gotten away with. Obviously, yeah, that last call should have been up and down, and rightfully so. I don't know why, and I can see why Becky was a little bit heated, but luckily, no, she wasn't heated to the point where, well, she wouldn't. Well, no, then again, had to get. Well, then again, she got super heated to the point where they had her own team to hold her back. But regardless, though, man, it's been a very good game. Well, mostly good game for 3 quarters, and then since the fourth quarter, it's been ugly. It's been ugly downhill for the for the Liberty. Yeah, that's. And quite honestly, I'm surprised Becky Hammond didn't get a technical for that. All right, good, Corey. Okay, good. Okay, so she did get a technical. And the free. Oh, wow. And then Nescu gets the friendly roll on that technical free throw. Now it's 94-77. Under 3 minutes to play. But now we got Chelsea Gray leading the point. Up 23. Actually, no. Plum for three, a little bit short, and rebound pulled down by Stewart. And here comes Vandersloot leading the charge. Picked up by Plum. Vandersloot for three. Down it goes. Now it's up. Now it's 2-14. Under 2.5 to play here in the fourth. And Vandersloot 4 of 11 from the field. 10 points. 2 of 5 from three. Gray takes a three of her own. Down it goes. Back up 17. Goes Las Vegas. And Stewart to Laney. Laney with trying to go off a pick and roll. Down it goes for Benijah Laney. Now it's up. Now it's back down to 15. We got a minute 50. Plum to Gray to Clark. Back out to Gray on the top of the key. Picked up by Laney. Fadeaway jumper from Gray. A little bit too strong. Anescu with the rebound. So it looks like New York will take their final timeout of the game as their last one of the game. And obviously Monday night, well, you won't be seeing me. Yeah, not two of the greatest teams. So, but Monday night it will be another. Me and my buddy Ty will be back at it again for the NLDS Game 2 between the Braves and the Fighting Phils. Because obviously the Phillies taking Game 1, which was huge, in the series. Alrighty. Got a minute 34. So it pretty much looks like the last minute 34. It looks like we're going to have the benches empty for Las Vegas. And now we got Thornton. Looks like all reserves. Johannes for three, a little bit short, pulled out, another rebound, and that's going to be another foul. That's going to go against. So 2 free throws coming for Chelsea Gray. Man, first is good. And both free throws are good. All right, 20 points for Chelsea Gray with 7 boards, 9 assists, and 2 blocks. We got Johannes screened by Thornton. Johannes, they get stripped, and that's going to be knocked out of bounds. All right. We got Prince, and she gets blocked up top. And somehow looks like there's going to be a foul, and that's going to be the 15th foul on the Aces. And the first is no good. So pretty much, so Gray and Stokes now come off it. It's time for all the reserves with the last 58.6 seconds. And both free throws are no good. And we have Colson. Now to Clark. And now here we go by the Liberty. And number 12 cannot hit from the free throw line. Gets out to George. Now we got Colson. To Bell. Bell out to Clark. Now we got Colson at the top of on the wing. To the top of the key. And almost loses it. And that's taken away by Thornton. And that's pretty much going to do it. That's pretty much seals this game. And the Aces will take game 1, 99-82. All right, so Aces take 99-82 victory to seal game 1 at home in Las Vegas. But like I said, shout out to everyone that's been in the chat, though, or tuning into the stream. Like I said, I greatly appreciate that. We'll be back at it again tonight for Monday Night Football. And with that being said, guys, can't wait to do football. Have a good day, everybody.